Tonight, a grave story. Students across America continuing to retreat to safe spaces, overcome microaggressions, and deal with the fallout from an election that just left them badly triggered. National Review online reporter, Fox News contributor Kat Tim has been covering campus craziness that is spreading all around our nation. She joins us with the wildest stories of all. Kat, great to see you.
Great to see you,
I thought that, I had heard the worst of it. I'd heard the craziest. And then I heard at the University of Maryland, they asked, what are you thankful for? And the students had some interesting answers.
Yeah, they said, what about Obama's presidency are you thankful for? Or are you thankful for President Obama? And they said yes, and then they said why? Campus
and there must be some really big answers, right?
And they said
deep, very deep.
They didn't know, or they said because he's cool.
Cool.
And when I worked at Campus Reform a few years ago, I went to USC and I made a video asking if they thought President Obama deserved his Nobel Peace Prize. They all said yes. And when I asked them why, they all said, because he's cool.
Well, they didn't have any foreign policy depth or anything?
Enough. And you know what? He's kind of funny, right? He's funny on the late shows. And, being funny is kind of cool. But when it comes to who the president is, I'm more concerned about the policies and how they're going to affect
Let's bring your A game, right?
people instead of just if he's cool.
And maybe that's why some of the millennials stayed home?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Obamacare particularly is a disaster, and it's one particularly for millennials. In order for it to work, they had to give millennials a bad deal, to pay in and spend more money than they would spend on paying the penalty plus whatever extra health expenses a normal healthy millennial would have. They're not looking out for you, but I guess, he's cool.
GW, George Washington University. Right in my home there of Washington. They've also got a little campus craziness going on.
Yes, so there was a bunch of student groups. They wrote a letter to the administration saying that campus police protection for them is an act of violence because the Fraternal Order of Police Union endorsed Donald Trump. And some of these police officers...
These are the police officers trying to protect campuses.
Correct. Their protection is an act of violence because some of the police officers or Fraternal Order Police are, have jurisdiction over the campus. I wonder if they realize, though, that the police officers that aren't on their campus are, other places in D.C.
Right.
So if they're really arguing for that, they're saying that having police everywhere in D.C. would be an act of violence.
Right.
You'd think that, probably they would want to have police walking around D.C.
Right. If you're walking the streets of D.C. at 3 a.m. after a party or something like that, which students occasionally
Sometimes,
do, you'd like, if, God forbid, something happened, the campus police would be there to help you.
They said instead to protect students, donate more money to the Multicultural Center and different efforts like that. I highly doubt if there's a murderer chasing after you that you're going to call the Multicultural
Real quick,
Center.
you dug deep in a high school in Princeton, New Jersey, too.
Yeah, there was a woman there that was supposed to give a lecture about cybersecurity, and she wound up talking about internet trolls and lecturing students on white privilege. Now, these high school kids, when she was showing some sexist tweets, were kind of cheering and shouting out and being rude. But these kids were in high school, and she is a grown-up. And she was unable to contain herself and stick to the actual subject, which it just seems that after the election went the way it did, nobody feels that they have to control themselves anymore.
They're starting them early with these crazy stories.
Absolutely.
Kat Tim, we appreciate it. Thanks. And all of you at home, please keep an eye out for these stories. Tucker loves them. So do I. Email them to us at campuscraziness@foxnews.com.